Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Dave here from the Bear Pit TV, and today we're back with another transfer roundup. Now, transfer deadline day is upon us. It is tomorrow. We've got about 1 day and about 7 or 8 hours left of the summer transfer window. I know a lot of Stoke fans aren't happy with our transfer business, but I've got lots of transfer news to tell you about in this episode. So let's start with the main one, shall we? Saido Berahino. He's encapsulated our transfer window for the past, I don't know, 6-7 weeks, maybe from the end of last season. It's just been going on, and it's going to keep going on until the end of the transfer window. Now, reports have emerged again that we're back in for him. It did look a couple of weeks ago that the transfer was going to be unlikely. He was tweeting a lot. He was like, we're going to stay, looking forward to playing for West Brom again. But it's getting a little bit more confusing now because he's back on Twitter again. He's back on his social media. He doesn't like letting people know where he's going to be. Now, West Brom yesterday did sign Nasser Chadli on a 4-year deal. He tweeted about that, saying how much he was looking forward to playing with him and having such a great addition to the squad, which makes you wonder whether he will be moving to Stoke. And he did post pictures of him on holiday, having a break because it is the international break. Obviously not playing for England, so he's off on holiday with his family, things like that. So that does indicate that West Brom will be his likely destination at the end of the transfer window. But more reports are coming closer and closer towards the deadline that he is going to be joining Stoke as well. Peter Coates was on Sky Sports News discussing how we'd love to bring him in, but obviously everyone has their valuation and we've got to stop at that point. So it's getting really confusing. No one really knows what is going to happen. It's going to go right to the wire, and it's going to be one of those deals similar to the Peter Crouch one that's going to go right to the end of the transfer window. Could be about 11:15, that sort of time, sort of Tony Pulis era time in the transfer window for us with Saido Berahino. So it could be quite interesting, but we've got to watch that one because that is the main one that everyone's been looking out for all summer. So moving on from Saido Berahino, what happens if we don't get him? Now, we've been looking at a couple of strikers, and the main one that's emerged as a backup now that Loic Remy's gone to Crystal Palace on a season-long loan. That was confirmed today. So, who is our backup choice? Wilfried Bony is our second choice striker. But this deal is very, very interesting because it's talked of being a 6-month loan deal. Now, not a lot of people want a 6-month loan deal. We want a striker that we've got on a permanent basis. A 3 or 4 year contract. Now, the only stumbling block with that with Wilfried Bony is £20 million. Apparently, that's his valuation. We've been hearing between around 13 and 20 million, that sort of figure. And Stoke don't really want to pay for that. We prefer a loan deal for him. And also, the player would prefer a loan deal. Now, teams such as Everton and Southampton have been talked about for him, but they're trying to get permanent deals. Now, the player, as I said, wants a loan deal. So if we can get him, I think Stoke would look at him if we can't get Saido Berahino through the door. If we can get him as a quick option, a 6-month loan deal, see what he can do. Then maybe look at him after that, see what he can do for us. But 6-month loan deal for Wilfried Bony as a backup choice. Now, that's your strikers. Now, if we bring in a striker, obviously that gives us 5 strikers in the first team squad, not counting Julian Ngoy, who we'll get onto in a minute. But one of them's going to have to go, aren't they? So, surprisingly, the one that's been talked about going is Joselu. Now, Spanish side Deportivo La Coruña, they've sold their striker Lucas Silva to Arsenal today. So, they'll be looking to bring in a striker, and it said that they're very interested in Joselu. Now, this would be quite disappointing for us if he did leave, because he hasn't quite had the opportunities that I think a lot of Stoke fans expect he should have had. He's definitely got some quality there. I know that he's got some quality, and I'm not his biggest fan. But I can definitely see he can add something, but he hasn't had the run of games. He has scored a few goals on and off for us. But I think a lot of Stoke fans would agree that he hasn't had the opportunities, and it's a bit weird that we're letting him go. Now, you may be thinking that, but the fee that they're talking about is £8.5 million. We paid £5.75 million for him last summer. So Stoke would obviously look at that. He's not performing for us really at the moment. He's not particularly in Mark Hughes' plans, so a bit of a profit on him was even better as well. I think Stoke would just like to make the money on him, but £8.5 million, if they can get that for him, would be brilliant. to make that sort of profit on a striker that's surplus to requirements. He didn't even make the bench for Everton when he was perfectly fit, and a striker such as Julian Ngoy, who hasn't made an appearance for Stoke yet, makes the bench in front of him. So you've got to be looking like Joslu's out the door, as Hughes sees him as his 4th or even 5th choice striker now at Stoke. So that's going to be an interesting one. That will probably happen tomorrow. That's another one worth watching. Now, let's move on to our defensive crisis, shall we? Because I think a lot of people after a striker will be wanting a centre-back through the door as well. Now, there's been multiple reports of a number of centre-backs we've been looking at, a lot on loan deals as well. So we'll start with the one that most people know about. Phil Jones is one that we were talking about last week. A lot of people expected him to be at the Manchester City game. Don't know whether that has been confirmed or not, but we've definitely been in talks with Manchester United, looking at a possible season loan for him. Would be a fantastic deal because I certainly rate him as a defender. He's certainly good enough to play in the Premier League, and I think he would be a good partner with Ryan Shawcross. But the other two defenders that we've been looking at, Eliaquim Mangala from Manchester City is a name that's appeared in the last couple of days, which is interesting because it looks like Pep Guardiola will be looking to offload him to another team this summer, maybe on a season-long loan. That's what I've seen. I don't know whether it's a permanent transfer or not, but that's interesting. He wasn't particularly great for Manchester City last season. He was okay, but maybe he can shore up our defence as well. Maybe he'd be a good addition for us. Let me know in the comments down below about that one because that's really interesting. And finally, Mamadou Sakho. Now, last season, if I told you Mamadou Sakho would be looking to be offloaded from Liverpool, you'd be like, no chance. He's starting every game. But after his drugs thing and not playing a lot of the end of the season and the start of this season, Jurgen Klopp is looking to loan him out for a small part of the season, maybe even a season-long loan. Now, we inquired for him, but he did reject the loan. Liverpool accepted it, but Sakho himself rejected the loan to Stoke. So, because he was disappointed about the offers that he got offers from Stoke and West Brom, that sort of level of team, and he might look at us at the moment and think, bottom of the league, why would I go to them? But we are a team with a good reputation in the Premier League so far. We've got 3 9th place finishes of recent times. So I think just because we're bottom of the league at the moment, it is not that attracting for those sorts of players. But Mamadou Sakho definitely wants to be offloaded by Liverpool, so that one's worth watching as well. But much like our striker situation, centre-backs would be an issue for us because we would have quite a lot. So we're going to offload one. And again, surprisingly, that would be Philipp Volscheid. The player's currently in Germany at the moment for a bit of treatment. I know he didn't feature against Stevenage, so he's flown off to Germany during the international break. Probably see his family, that sort of thing, get a bit of a treatment. I think he's got an ear infection apparently. So a bit of treatment for that. But apparently whilst he's over there, he's also talking to a few German clubs, well at least his agent is. Wolfsburg, that sort of team has been touted about for him, and I think that would be a disappointing move for me because I do like Philipp Volscheid. I do think on his day he can be brilliant. I know a lot of Stoke fans are very sceptical about him, the way he defends. Don't think he's the toughest of all defenders, certainly compared to someone like Robert Huth that we let go last summer. I know a lot of Stoke fans would be happy to see the back of him, so it's sort of a split decision about that. Let me know in the comments down below about Philipp Volscheid. Would you let him go? Would you be sad to see him go? Let me know down below. But yeah, it'd be interesting to watch that one because I definitely wouldn't like to see him go. But if we can bring in one of the 3 that are touted, I still think that they're as good as Philipp Volscheid, so it wouldn't particularly make a massive difference. I'd just be slightly disappointed that we'd let a good defender like Philipp Volscheid go. But if he wants to, who am I to stop him? But that's all your transfer news for the past couple of days, guys. There's been a lot going on, and if you want to watch all the madness from transfer deadline day, see all the deals from a fan's perspective, Ball Street are doing a deadline day live stream tomorrow, and it's up on their Facebook page, facebook.com/ballstreet, and their YouTube channel as well. I believe Elliot is on there from the Bear Pit, as well as multiple fan channels such as Arsenal Fan TV, Redmen TV. All the fan channels such as that will be on the live stream, and they'll be running through a different sort of perspective to your Sky Sports News and your BBC Sports sort of live streams. It'll be a lot less serious, a lot of prizes and challenges and stuff, a lot of debate and discussion from real fans' perspective. So if you want to watch that, links will be on the Bear Pit Facebook page, Twitter page. So just click any of them from tomorrow and you can go and watch that live stream. But if you've enjoyed the video, guys, leave a like down below. Leave a comment, as always, about any of the deals that I've talked about. Anything Sado Berahino, Wilfred Boney, any of the centre-backs, let me know in the comments down below. As always, guys, cheers for watching.